There's a popular idea that predictability is weakness, that if people can read you, they can control you. So you're told to reveal nothing, to stay unreadable, to let uncertainty become your leverage. It sounds powerful, it sounds strategic, it feels like control. And in certain environments, maybe it is, but most people don't live in those environments. Most people work normal jobs, pay normal bills, and interact with normal people. There are no ongoing wars around them, no hidden enemies plotting moves. Yet they begin moving through everyday life like they're navigating hostile territory. Everyday conversations become tactical situations. Normal interactions start feeling like power plays. Basic communication gets withheld to maintain a sense of control. Tone shifts become intentional. Responses get delayed on purpose. Being difficult to read slowly becomes the goal. In their head, that feels strategic. In reality, it looks like inconsistency. And inconsistency doesn't build power. It builds caution. People become cautious around behavior they cannot predict. Would you trust a family member who sometimes keeps their word? Someone who says they'll show up and then disappears? Someone whose tone changes depending on their mood? Someone who commits and then backs out last minute? Not because they're evil, but because they're unreliable. When people become cautious around you, something subtle happens. They stop building around you. They stop relying on you. They stop including you in decisions that require stability. Power in normal environments isn't about tension. It's about reliability. You don't get promoted for being mysterious. You get promoted for being dependable. And yes, sometimes it's not what you know. It's who you know. But your relationship with who you know wasn't built because you were unreadable. It was built because you were consistent, because you showed up, because you followed through, because people knew what they were getting when they dealt with you. That's how trust compounds. Not through unpredictability, through reliability. If you're predictable at work, steady attitude, steady output, steady communication, people give you responsibility, and responsibility becomes promotion. If you're predictable with money, consistent payments, controlled spending, no emotional swings, your debt shrinks, and shrinking debt becomes freedom. If you're predictable in relationships, steady tone, steady presence, steady boundaries, people relax around you. Relaxed people open up. Open people connect. Connection becomes loyalty. Investment works the same way. When someone watches your process and sees repetition, not hype, not intensity, but consistent execution, they trust the process. Predictability reduces perceived risk, and reduced risk increases opportunity. Then imagine that same person reaching a point where their investments grow faster than their lifestyle, where more money is being put to work each year than is being spent. That pattern doesn't look impressive in a single moment. But over time, repetition turns into separation. Separation between the person whose money disappears into their lifestyle and the person whose money continues building quietly in the background. House pets didn't become house pets because they were unpredictable. They became house pets because their behavior became understandable. Imagine bringing a wolf into your home. If it reacted differently every day, calm one moment, aggressive the next, you wouldn't keep it. Not because it's evil, but because it's uncertain. Over time, humans kept the animals whose reactions were steady, the ones that didn't randomly attack, the ones that responded consistently to commands, the ones whose behavior could be anticipated. That predictability created safety, and safety allowed closeness. Human systems work the same way. When your behavior is steady, outcomes begin compounding around you. Not because you are flashy, but because people can build around you. And when people can build around you, you become valuable. Most people think power is keeping others unsure, but in normal life, power shows up differently. Power is when people don't have to wonder about you. They don't wonder if you'll show up. They don't wonder if you'll pay. They don't wonder how you'll react. They don't wonder if you'll fold under pressure. They already know. And because they already know, they move differently around you. They trust you with responsibility. They trust you with opportunity. They trust you with leadership. They trust you with partnership. That's how real alliances are built in the real world, not in an imagined war, not in a cinematic battle you're trying to recreate, but in the world you actually live in. Predictability creates connection. Connection creates access. Not access to take advantage of people, but access to sharpen each other, to build together, to exchange resources, and to create outcomes neither person could create alone. In that world, the person who is steady, disciplined, emotionally controlled, and consistent becomes valuable. Because once someone becomes predictable, systems naturally begin forming around them. That's power, not keeping people guessing, but removing the need to guess at all. No surprises, just consistency. And that's why predictability is power.